A few weeks ago, my brother came over for a run. His foot had been hurting for a couple months because of something at work, and he said that he had been just feeling mentally down and stuff. And he said that he thinks that the reason why he's mentally down is because he needs to do something that's really, really tough and that challenges him and pushes him. So he wants to run a half marathon. And the closest one that we found that me and him and my dad can all do is the Youngstown half marathon. So we are officially 8 weeks out from the Youngstown half marathon. Last time I ran a half marathon, I was getting back into running, and I ran, I think it was like a 156, and my goal was sub 145. So this time, because I'm a little bit more in shape with running, my goal is to run a sub 140. So I'm really looking forward to that race and seeing like how my brother does in his first actual half marathon. He's run 13.1 miles before, but he hasn't done 13.1 in a race. So really excited to see how that's gonna go. I know that he hasn't signed up yet, but I'm gonna sign up here soon, and I think that's gonna make him sign up. And I'm gonna write out plans for both of us. I'll take you guys through it, and we're gonna make this a little series, and we're gonna follow my journey through training for another half marathon, but also my brother training for his first half marathon. Got him.
That's exactly what I did when I got my New Balance.
Yep, I'm gonna chuck him in the trash. All right, so new shoes acquired. I am running late for my senior photo shoot with my cousin, but it's only about 10 minutes away, and I already texted him. So we're gonna head over there, and I will take you guys with me. What's up? We're getting ready to run 12 miles today. Gotta find a way to securely hold the GoPro because I want to capture a couple of the miles with GoPro, but I don't have a stick. So we're gonna try to make a solution so that I can take you guys on the run with me. So one thing you saw me do in the last clip was tuck my laces into my shoes. And the reason why I did that was because a couple of days ago, my right foot came in and like dragged along my left foot here. The rubber part of the shoe, right there, caught my shoelace loop and caused me to trip and fall and just completely eat it. Couldn't find a good solution for the GoPro, so I'm just holding it in my hand, and then I'm gonna shove it into this pocket, fits nicely, and we're gonna start the run. 3, 2, 1. So just finished up mile number 1. The heart rate monitor's not really tracking too well. Probably won't until like mile 3 or 4. Sometimes it happens. But had a solid like 8:59 mile. We had to slow down a little bit. We're gonna make it all 12 today. I just got done with mile 2. Not sure what the pace was. Probably something like 8:45, 8:50. But my heart rate is a little on the high side. So I gotta remember to keep conservative at least until like mile 7 or 8. Then I can push it if I'm feeling good, or back it off if I'm feeling not so great. One thing I forgot to mention is that I'm gonna do 3 4-mile loops, and I'll put that on the screen once I'm done running. But our goal is to get just a little bit faster. Either get a little bit faster on the 2nd and 3rd round, or get faster for the 2nd and 3rd round, but keep those rounds at about the same pace with keeping the heart rate the same. So see you at mile 3. Whew. Just made it up the long section of elevation gain. There's like, from the bottom of the hill past Mount Union, there's this hill, this elevation change that just goes up and up and up and up and up and up, and the pace took huge hits, but kept the heart rate pretty good, around 150 to 160. There were some points where it peaked above 160, but as soon as I saw that, I told myself it's not about the pace, it's about the heart rate, it's about trusting the training. So we're on a big downhill section now, and kind of striding it out at a 155 heart rate, and we'll see you around mile 4, which is going to be our first stop to top off the G1M Sport hydration and carbs for the next 4 miles. So see you at mile 4. So we just stopped back at the house after completing mile 4. Heart rate is feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty warmed up. Just refilled the G1M Sport, went to the bathroom, and now we're hitting the road again. See you guys out there. We are currently working on mile number 5. I think the first split was around 36 minutes. So we're gonna try to aim for a little bit lower than that, maybe 35, nothing crazy, but we're gonna try to keep the heart rate the same, but just push it just ever so slightly. Correction, I'll see you guys at mile 5, not mile 6. We'll see you at mile 6, but whatever. Gotta stay hydrated. If I don't hydrate correctly in the beginning, I'll regret it. And there's no turning back once you don't hydrate correctly. It's one thing I've learned over the many, many miles and races that I have ran. Mile 5 completed in 9 minutes and 16 seconds, with I think an average heart rate between 155 and 160. Clipping along, feeling great. So we just finished up mile 6, so we're halfway there, and the pacing is getting a little bit slower. Not sure why. It gets me thinking maybe for the rest of the run I might just run off of fuel instead of heart rate. I don't want to abandon the plan though. It brings me to my next point. Is that we have this nice downhill section, but instead of going balls to the walls to try to increase my pace and stuff, it's gonna keep the heart rate nice and steady, control the downhill, because going downhill, you have to you're almost stopping yourself with each stride, and you don't want to put that much damage on your quads, because you'll regret that later if it's a longer race. So finishing up, or just finished on mile 6, working on mile 7, we got this giant hill we got to do. Let's see how well we can keep the heart rate down. Probably a really dumb decision, but in order to try and make up some time, I got to the top of this hill back there where I turned right for the long downhill on the back section of the course, and absolutely just pulled the trigger and just ripped it. Heart rate probably got up to like 175, and I don't know. Sometimes with long runs, you just gotta do that to break the switch, flip the switch. 7 miles complete. Working on number 8. See you guys back at the house for the start of lap 3. All right, mile 8 complete. Had to run a little bit longer down the street, not to my stopping point, which is like the end of my car, because that shot that I got of me running around the corner, I picked up the GoPro and forgot to start my watch again. YouTube magic doesn't just work like magic. In order for me to get that shot, I had to go run to that point, set the camera down, and then run back, and then run to the point again, and then pick up the camera. I stopped my watch after I put the camera down, didn't start it again because I didn't want to include that in my portion of the run, even though it's still miles on my feet. But came back around, picked up the camera, forgot to start my watch. So water bottle's filled up. Here we go. Last 4 miles. Just wrapped up miles 9 and 10. The heart rate is sticking in the low 160s. Pace is a little bit faster, but even if I'm trying to slow down, my body's kind of locked into a pace. So, I don't know. Not sure if running by feel is the way to go after a certain amount. It's like fueling properly up to a certain point only helps so much. And then it's whether your training actually did its work. And yeah, so we got this downhill section again, and we're gonna cut the camera. I'll see you guys at, I'll see you at the finish, because this is going to take a lot of mental capacity here to get up this giant freaking hill. So I'll see you guys at the finish. We have a full recap. Let's go. Alright guys, so that is 12 miles. Legs, not feeling so great. Pace slowly went down, but that's to be expected. And with the next 8 weeks, we're going to be working on that and getting that so that the legs are feeling good, heart rate's down, and we're going to be ready to race. Welcome to the post-run recap. Starting out, the overall stats of the run were: distance was 12 miles. The total time was 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 24 seconds. And the calories burned were 1,260. So let's start with the average heart rate, which in my opinion is the most important when it comes to the training that I've done in the past and the training that I'm doing now. The average heart rate for this run was 156 beats per minute, and the maximum heart rate was 178 beats per minute. The first and second miles, I really didn't have any heart rate data, like I said in the GoPro footage. And if I don't have a really solid warm-up, which was the case today, I have no way of really feeling what is pushing too hard and what is my body just not being warmed up. So I think those 2 miles, I pushed it a little bit too hard. Miles 3 and 4, I was feeling a little bit more warmed up. Mile 6 and 7, I felt really good. And then mile 8, I started getting a little bit competitive against myself in the previous lap. So in lap 2, I didn't want to have a split that was higher than the split before. And so what I did was I got on a downhill and I just cranked it. That probably wasn't such a good idea. So miles 9 and 10, I turned the camera off and just focused solely on running. Having to take some of your energy to make sure that the camera's on, that it's rolling, you're paying attention to traffic and paying attention to your heart rate and pace and all that stuff combined instead of just paying attention to your running takes a toll on you mentally and physically. Mile 9 felt great. Mile 10 was starting to feel all the miles under my feet. 9 and 10 I locked into a pace, but my heart rate said 160 to 165. So my pace at mile 11 was 9 minutes and 26 seconds. It was very slow the first half of the mile. And then the next half of the mile I got competitive again and started pushing my heart rate for the second half of that mile just to get it back down to 9 minutes and 26 seconds. And then mile 12 came. I got a little boost of energy because I knew that the run was going to be done soon. And again, my heart rate was pushing between 165 and 170 the whole time. But I knew that I was going to be done soon and I could rest. Looking back at the entire run as a whole, I think I started out pretty conservative and stayed on the plan most of the time. Got a little bit too competitive and straight off the plan, and I think that's where I went wrong. So there's something that I kept on thinking about during my run that I have to get out of my head and I have to share. What that is consistency compounds. This might suck right now, and I don't like the pace that I'm running. It's too slow. Even though I might not see the effects of doing what I'm doing today, even though I won't see that today or tomorrow or in the next week, month, or year, if I keep doing that consistently, keep training, keep putting in the miles, keep sticking to the plan, the consistency will compound, and at some point that compounding consistency will get me far greater results than if I would have tried to take a shortcut or take the fast lane and do it incorrectly. So I'm going to leave you with that. Consistency compounds. I want you to think about that, and that's going to be the video. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I am excited to take you guys along with me throughout the next 8 weeks on my journey to competing in the Youngstown Half Marathon. We'll see you guys in the next video.